In the depths of winter, when the land is buried under thick layers of snow and food becomes scarce, wolves engage in a grim yet fascinating behavior faced with starvation. They form a circle, bound by desperation. As hunger weakens them, they do not seek unity or mutual survival. Instead, they turn on each other. The moment one wolf collapses from exhaustion, the others pounce, tearing apart their own kind to survive. It is a ruthless cycle of self-preservation, driven by the unforgiving forces of nature. At first glance, this phenomenon seems confined to the wild, an instinctual response coded into the DNA of beasts. However, observing closely, we will find disturbing similarities between this behavior and human society. We, too, have our own version in our world. Those who are weak, whether financially, emotionally, or socially, often become easy prey. Instead of lifting them up, society pushes them down further. The struggling individual, weighed down by personal losses, financial burdens, or social hardships, often finds not a helping hand but a ruthless crowd ready to exploit their vulnerability. The moment they stumble, the world turns on them, much like the starving wolves do to their fallen kin. We see this in the way the poor are deceived, manipulated, and drained of their last resources by those who already have more than enough. The oppressed, instead of being uplifted, are often burdened further, denied opportunities, and judged for their inability to thrive. When someone is suffering, instead of receiving support, they often find themselves at the center of ridicule, exploitation, and even betrayal. This behavior is not just a reflection of individual cruelty but a deep-rooted flaw in society's structure. Our world thrives on power, and power is often built at the expense of the weak. Like the wolves in the cold, our survival often seems to depend on consuming those who can no longer stand. But must we continue this way? Unlike wolves, we possess the ability to reason, to empathize, and to change our behavior. We can choose to break this vicious cycle. Instead of preying on the weak, we can uplift them. Instead of exploiting vulnerability, we can extend a hand of support. Instead of mimicking the wolves, we can redefine survival, not as a battle of the fittest, but as a collective effort to rise together. Perhaps true strength does not lie in the ability to consume the weak but in the courage to stand beside them, ensuring no one is left behind. Be prosperous and share happiness.